What is up, jabrones? Lawson here. So today, if you can tell, look in the background, we are at the pond, somewhere that I haven't been in quite a bit and haven't really done much of an update on it for you guys. So that's what's happening today, and we're also gonna be trying to catch some bass to put into the pond, because unfortunately, over the past month or so, just that I've seen an osprey carry off 2 bass, like 2-pounders, like 1 to 2 pounders get carried off. So we're gonna try to catch a handful of bass today to throw into the pond and stock them. Unfortunately, it's kind of what happens when you have a little pond like this and there's not that much structure in it. So definitely soon enough, we need to throw something in there to give them some cover that they can get under so big giant birds can't get them, because they're gonna get picked out if we don't give them something to hide under. So the game plan is have a live well, got a bait caster, and we're gonna hop over to some canals and little ponds and see if we can catch some bass and throw them into the pond here and replenish some of those fish that have been lost in the war. All right, let's get at it. We are back here at a canal, and it's full of duckweed and hyacinths and every other vegetation you could think of, and just looking for a few small bass to throw into the well and bring over to the pond. If we catch a big one, that'll be sweet, but I'm happy with really any size. Let me show you what we're trying to throw to catch these fish on today. Bait caster, 7-foot medium action rod, and a Texas rig Guggen bait slim shake right there on the tip. Now this is just like a finesse style worm, and these things are one of my favorite all-time baits to throw, where it's like, I just want to catch a bass, I just want to catch a fish, and you'll catch a lot of smaller fish on them, but you'll also, I've caught multiple 6-pounders on finesse worms, so don't ever doubt it. So we're gonna walk up and down the canal so you can catch some fish and get after it. Right, real quick, while we're sitting here looking for our bass, we have sponsored for today's video, actually a repeat sponsor. You guys, you know them, you love them, Skillshare. If you don't know what Skillshare is, it is an online learning community full of hundreds and thousands of videos made by professionals in their craft to help you teach you anything that you are trying to learn. They have videos ranging from learning how to edit videos and photos better, running small businesses, managing social media accounts, being a better artist, learning graphic design, anything that you can think of, there's probably a class on there for you. Skillshare is kind enough, the first 500 people to click the link down below and sign up get 2 months of Skillshare Premium, so definitely get down there and check that out. You know, Skillshare is something that I wish I would have known about when I first started my channel. I've talked about before, people are always asking tips on editing videos and photos and how to get into YouTube and how to do this successfully. And if I would have had Skillshare from the start, it would have made my life 5 jillion times easier. So if that is something you are interested in, go down below, hit that link, and get you 2 months of Skillshare Premium for free. I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate Skillshare for helping us out and making the videos and the world of fishing go round here on this channel. Oh, good Lord, I just got freaking crushed. Ooh, all right, maybe he'll hit it again. Oh my gosh, I thought he had it. I thought he had it. And I biffed it, and I biffed it real good. Oh God, what the hell was that? Something just broke me off. Like sliced my line. Great. So let me catch up to speed, because last time we talked, the rod just fell over. Last time we talked, walking down the canal fishing, trying to catch some bass, and I broke off. So it is actually the next day. I had to go home and do a little bit of editing. That's one of the working parts of getting to make these videos for you guys. And right now, out with Zeke here, and we are way out in the woods and trying to see if we can catch some bass. And it is windy, but we're gonna try to catch maybe 3 bass or so to drop into the pond. Got the cooler already in there, got some aeration systems rolling, but we need to catch some fish and throw them in the cooler. So originally our game plan was to add some bass to the pond, which we're gonna do, or hopefully we're gonna do, but there's gar here, and as I was thinking about it, I was like, there's no gar in our pond that we have. The fly rod was in the truck because gar are very hard to catch on traditional tackle, and so I find them a lot easier to catch on the fly though. Oh, he's all over it. There's like 4 of them coming for it. Boink. All right, got some little flies here. I'm gonna try throwing this just small little streamer, whatever the heck you want to call this thing. And if this doesn't work, I have like literally tiny trout flies that will throw. Okay, apparently they're not impossible to hook because Zeke just caught a gar.
Perfect.
He's kind of big too. Come plop him in. Maybe we need to get a smaller one.
Yeah. I'm back.
Well, Zeke caught a gar here, but I honestly think, not that he's too big for the pond, but I feel bad for him being in this cooler like this. So, you want to release him?
Yeah.
We'll try to get a smaller one. Because what stinks is a bigger one would actually be better for the pond because he's probably already like sexually mature. So if we caught a few of them, better chance of them breeding and whatnot. But I'm not gonna make this guy sit in the cooler this early on in our session this afternoon. But I'm impressed that Zeke even caught one on a bait caster.
Wide gap hook.
Yeah, a freaking wide gap hook in the mouth on this thing. Oh! Okay, that wasn't what I intended to do, but I just strip set that gar out of the water. But that is, yeah, I see that now. Good. I strip set this perfect little gar. That is hilarious. I'm actually pretty pumped about this. Little gar is in the cooler for the moment. Got the aerator running to keep them fresh. But the thing about gar is that they could spend like hours as long as they stay damp out of the water because they breathe out of an air bladder instead of like diffusing oxygen through their lungs. So he should be good. That's cool. Zeke and I just made a pretty kind of pain in the butt walk for a couple hundred yards carrying this cooler with little Dylan in there. I don't know why he's little Dylan, but we've came to a nice little hole and we're gonna see if we can just whack maybe, what do you think, Zeke, just like 2 or 3 bass? We want to catch a few bass, but we are only gonna keep 2 or 3. You got one? Perfect bass, Zeke. Awesome. So like I mentioned earlier, there's actually no minimum size limit in certain areas, but not where we are right now. So Zeke just caught actually like probably like a 7-incher.
Scaring the Dylan.
Scaring the Dylan. Boom.
2 on the dinks.
Two macros. All right, that will be our second little squeaky add to our pond. If we catch one more little one like this, I'll probably throw them in. Anyways, what I was gonna say is I catch another little one, we'll probably throw them in. But if we catch a bigger one, I'll pull one of the smaller ones out. I'll cull one of the smaller ones out and keep a bigger fish. I think we're gonna fish probably 10 more minutes here and then bring these suckers back to the pond. Squeaky? All right, Zeke caught the 3rd squeak. All right, there is the well. We got 3 about 8 inchers in there, and then our Dylan is also in there. So we're gonna walk these back to the truck. I'm gonna close the lid before that thing starts freaking out. We're gonna walk those homies back to the truck and drive them to the pond. All right, we have made it back to the pond here in our Dylan and I don't know why we're calling this thing Dylan, but the gar and his little bass buddies have made it back and they're very lively. So what I think we're gonna do is kind of scoop a little bit of water into the cooler and get them adjusted to the pond and then slowly release them. I'm hoping these bass make it. You know, obviously adding 3 bass isn't gonna do anything right now, especially smaller ones, but they can be future pond lunkers. And then the gar, he is solo in the pond at the moment and he will be the only gar in here. And I think over the next month or so, we'll try to maybe catch a handful more, maybe like half a dozen, and get like a little population of gar going in this pond, because gar are really cool fish, and I think it'd be cool to have some in here. So we're gonna dump some water in here, get them acclimated to the pond water, and then release these babies. So one thing too is that I know some of you guys are gonna be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're gonna release these fish in here without getting rid of and making sure they're clean and no parasites. If I caught these fish out of some nasty mud hole on the side of the road in a canal, I probably would. These fish, we went to a wildlife management area out in the middle of like 10,000 acres. That's just like dirt roads and wilderness. And this pond that we're at, it's just also dirt roads and wilderness, and then a house. So I will say that these fish probably are gonna be even a little healthier and a little more natural than the bass that are gonna be in the pond currently. So I'm gonna kind of risk it. I think it'll be okay. If it was a really small aquarium, like if I had like any size aquarium really, I would probably take the time to put these fish in the cooler and let them be aerated and add different like chemicals to get rid of parasites and stuff like that, and really make sure they're clean before introducing them. But this is a humongous pond, like almost an acre sized pond. So it should be all right releasing 3 fish that came straight from the wilderness. All right, we've let our fish sit for a little bit. Now I know there'd be a better way to do this with a net, but we'll just go by hand because they're little bass. So colors are beautiful. Look at that guy right there. Got a little bit of a scarred up tail. So maybe we can remember that this bass had a scarred tail, and if we ever see him again in the future, we'll know that's him. Beautiful, beautiful fish. Buddy, enjoy your new home here. Wrong way. There you go. All right, bass number 2. These fish are beautiful. Like, this is a perfect looking bass. No blemishes on him except for a little hook mark where I think Zeke's spinnerbait caught him in the face. But other than that, beautiful colors, almost orange in the tail fins. Oh, this is sick. I didn't even notice this bass. Look at this. He has a completely black nose. So, and a very black spot on the tail, a little bit of melanism it looks like in them. That's what it's called when fish have like black markings. So if we ever catch some fish out of this pond again and one's got a big black nose, we'll know this was this guy right here. Another, I mean, these fish are incredibly beautiful. Like, perfect little specimen of largemouth bass, aren't they? Pretty interesting. Almost all 3 of them take the exact same path when I let them out of my hands. They went forward and then went straight to the left side. Last but not least, our boy Dylan. This guy. These are just such cool fish, man. Really, just I think gar have to be one of the coolest and most unique fish that are native to Florida that we have, especially in freshwater for sure. Dylan, no, Dylan, don't do it. Don't just look at Zeke. That is really cool, watching all those fish get to swim away here, and know that they're gonna be here in this pond, and hopefully they will make it, and 1, that the larger bass in here don't pick on them, and 2, that they don't get picked up by ospreys. Something that's going to be done here, I don't know if I'll film it or not, because it's really not the most exciting thing in the world, is that I want to add some more overhanging structure to the pond, whether that I might just add like some floating vegetation, because these fish need some protection from birds of prey that are coming from the sky and ripping them out of the water, because that's how we've lost some bass, and we've seen 2 that have been taken, so I have to imagine there's been way more than that have been scooped out of here. Awesome day though, getting to do a little bit of pond maintenance, come out and replenish some of the fish that have been gone. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I know it's been a little bit since I've done a pond video, but it felt good to get back out here and release some fish and even just go out and catch the fish was a lot of fun too, and hanging out with Zeke. Big shout out and thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. I appreciate you guys so much. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you leave a like. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. We are winding down, baby. We are closing in on 100,000 subscribers and I couldn't be more stoked. I appreciate you guys. Until the next video, peace.